Here we have the new 2026 GMC Sierra 1500 Denali. This one comes in onyx black. We have the jet black leather interior. And then for the powertrain, we get a 6.2 liter naturally aspirated V8 engine, made it to a 10-speed automatic transmission. This one also has the Denali Reserve and Super Cruise package, so over a $6,000 option there. But to the front end here, we do get the LED headlamps along with the LED daytime running lights and the LED fog lights. And just love the front faces of these Sierras. Even though they've been out for a minute, this body style still holds up with everything else that's out right now, in my opinion. And down here, these are gonna be 22-inch aluminum wheels. Passive keyless entry on the front, power running boards, and then to the door panel, memory seats, power door lock controls, one-touch up and down windows for the front, express down for the back, power mirror controls, rear window lock, and then we can power fold those side mirrors. And they do have blind spot monitors in them. But like the trim, everything in the door panel, we have our drive modes we can toggle here, full four-wheel drive, headlamp controls, electronic parking brake, heads-up display controls. You get a power tilt telescoping steering wheel, hood release, and I apologize, this one's just a tad filthy in here. Side pocket there. And here's the power driver's seat, four-way power lumbar support. But I want to give a huge thanks to Chevrolet Buick GMC of Murfreesboro for allowing me to review this truck today. I'll leave a link below in the description. If you're looking to find the best price on one of these closer to home, click that second link down below. It takes just a minute to fill out your information. I'll make sure the local dealers are fighting to get to the best price on this or whatever new vehicle you might be interested in. Now these back windows are tinted pretty nicely, so I apologize if it's hard to see, but that Denali Reserve Super Cruise package is $6110, and then we have the 6.2 V8, that option's $2295. A few other small things, including the active exhaust, brings the sticker price to $80,090. But I have the seat up front adjusted for someone of my size, being 6'3" with longer legs. So we're about to check out the rear seat space. There's a storage there. In-seat storage as well. And it's a full-size pickup truck, so plenty of space. Legs aren't touching the back of the seat at all. Seat back pockets are on both sides. And then we have 3-stage heated outboard seats for the back here as well. Rear AC vents, a USB-C and USB-A charge port, bottle holders. There's a view of the front from back here. There's the sunroof with the sunshade, and then we do get the LED reading lights throughout. Plenty of headroom as well. But you can hang a full-fledged uniform, maybe even two on here if you need to. Very strong hanger hook there. And then bottle holders can be had in this middle seat when it's not in use. Child locks are on the doors on either side, lock, unlock there. Fuel filler. Premium's recommended with these 6.2s for the full power output, but not required. To the back end here, LED tail lamps. Again, this active exhaust. Love that sound though. Nice rumble. Here's a spare. We get the Pro tailgate, so we can fold that down to make it easier to step in here. And there's a 120 volt 3-prong plug in there, 400 watts. Now as we come around to the rear passenger side, if you need access to the lower anchors, they're exposed right there. And then you can use these as top tethers if you need to for the car seats. And then power front passenger seat, 4-way power lumbar support there. Lockable glove compartment, side pocket. You have a top storage tray up here as well. Now as we come back around to the front, just a quick look in the engine bay, that 6.2 liter V8. And then I'm going to turn the blinkers on so we can see those. But next, let's go ahead and hop in the driver's seat. So a nice leather wrap steering wheel here. We do get the Super Cruise indicator and the Super Cruise sensor down there. There's the horn. Now over here to the radio, audio, we get AM, FM, XM along with Bluetooth. And then we also have the Google News USB drive as well. And then we get wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto compatibility. We have the Google Assistant system, so Google Maps, the Google Assistant itself. And then we have the dual zone automatic climate controls, which we can use from the screen here, or the buttons and knobs down below, which include the heated steering wheel and the 3-stage heated cooled seats. And in your settings here, our vehicle settings include rear seat reminder, teen driver, buckle to drive, the Super Cruise lane change, a few other options as well. And then in your system settings, you can adjust the language right here. Wi-Fi hotspot, tons of cameras. So there's your backup camera there, front camera. You have that bird's eye view there, top down view, curbside. And then my favorite being the bed camera there. And then you also have a few different camera views when you're towing as well. The volume knobs here on the side, click there to mute, home button to always bring you back here if you need. If you get a little lost on the screen, let me put it that way. But down here, lane keeping system, parking sensors, auto stop toggle, lift gate, hazards, traction control, downhill brake control. And then for the shifter, hit the brake, push this button on the side, pull down for drive, tap for low if you want to use the limiters, and you can use the paddle shifters behind the steering wheel. You can see what gear you're in that bottom right-hand corner of the gauge cluster there. Hold up for neutral, and then to get to reverse, you do have to push the button on the side and then press P for park. Our trailer brake controllers here. Tons of storage here if you need to use this USB-C or this USB-A port while you're charging something. Bottle holders, wireless charging pad, USB-C and USB-A there. These actually wire to your radio. And then a 3-prong household plug-in and a removable tray. Nice light in there as well when it's dark out. Rear camera mirror, we can toggle that on or off. Garage door transmitter, sunroof controls, you get a power sliding rear window, and your OnStar here. But I'll show you that in a minute. We're gonna one-touch slide the roof. Goes all the way behind the shade. Same thing for closing it. And again, the power sliding rear window. There's that. Vanity mirror. Get the LED lights there. Then back to the steering wheel itself. Left side stock blinkers. Button on the side is the auto high beam toggle. You have your intermittent wipers there. Fluid. And then behind the steering wheel on the left side, we can toggle track list, radio station presets. And behind on the right side, volume up, volume down. But we get adaptive cruise, so we can turn that on and hit this cancel button and hold it if you want to get the regular cruise on. Do the same thing to put it back to adaptive. Set your speed with this little toggle here, and then super cruise, forward collision alert for the adaptive cruise, or forward collision alert and the adaptive cruise gap adjust is right there, excuse me. And then mute, voice recognition. The scroll bar and these two arrows go through the gauge cluster in the middle. So you have a lot of different views there, tire pressure monitors, oil life, all of that. Go into the options, you can change your units of measurement from US to metric, and then you can also change what's on the info page. And you can also change what's in the gauges as well. So a really configurable gauge cluster. I always like to change this to fuel economy average. Heads up display is right there in the middle. You can change what's shown on there. It's not flashing like that. That's just the camera. It's kind of bright out, so it's hard to see, but you can change what's shown there. And push button start. I think I forgot to mention this does have the Bose sound system, but. And then here's our key fob with remote start. Next, let's go ahead and take this 2026 GMC Sierra 1500 Denali out on the road for a test drive. So starting the test drive in this Sierra Denali, Love the active exhaust. Has a super aggressive sound there, and it's just very fun to use. And for that $400 option, you don't have to pay extra to have that aftermarket exhaust installed to get a better exhaust tone. But a very powerful V8 here, the 6.2 liter is. So if you can afford it, it's always nice to have. But honestly, I prefer the Duramax in this. It's not as quick, but it's more fuel efficient. It's actually cheaper than the 6.2 is. And I just like I like turbos, what can I say? But I'm gonna give this a pull here, not gonna floor it, but gonna give it something. Here we go. That exhaust is fantastic. I love that sound. It's just nasty. So again, for the money, I highly recommend it. It sounds incredible. It really does. But a huge thanks to Chevrolet Buick GMC of Murfreesboro for allowing me to review this Sierra today. I'll leave a link below in the description. If you're looking to find the best price on one of these closer to home, click that second link down below. It takes just a minute to fill out your information, and I'll make sure local dealers are fighting to get you the best price on this or whatever new vehicle you might be interested in. But lane centering enabled here. A must-have, I think, for longer road trips if you can get it. I've gotten used to it in my Mustang Mach-E, and now I just can't go without it, honestly. When I have to drive my Pacifica Hybrid, it has the lane sense or whatever, but it's just a lane keeping system, not a lane centering, and it just takes more out of you. You can't just sit back and relax. But there is the Super Cruise disengaging for the off-ramp. But ride is good. Surprisingly, the sound acoustics in here are very good as well, and the road noise is not even noticeable. Now, at right around 80 grand, I think this is actually a pretty good deal for a full-size luxury pickup truck. Just getting the Super Cruise, the heated cooled seats, the nicer feeling interior, everything that's premium is here. And if you compare this to an F-150 Platinum, a Ram Limited, Longhorn, something like that, it just depends on preference, I think. I think all three of the big automakers, you can even throw the Tundra in there as well if you want to. So the four big full-size truck players are doing a pretty good job at kind of getting their share of the market for different reasons. Now, pretty much the only way you can get a 6.2 V8 is going to be from GM. You have the EcoBoost and then the Raptor from Ford. The Rams have been on point with the interiors, I think, since they got their redesign in 2019. And then Toyota's just, it's different. They're kind of having to catch up because of the issues they've had with the V6s. At least the talk has been there's been issue with these twin turbo V6s, but I think that they still make a really good truck. You have that power sliding rear window and all of the different things that come with the Tundra. With that whole window dropping down, excuse me, in the Tundra. But here, I think you have a very elegant, very subtle truck. It doesn't necessarily turn heads or anything, but it's a pretty truck. It's clean, and the interior is elegant. Let me put it that way. It just has an elegant stance to it. It's not something that'll necessarily turn heads when you're driving down the road, but if you have one, you're like, yeah, I'm glad I got this truck. It's very nice. And you can go to a Denali Ultimate if you want a few extras, but I think this is a good place to be, right under 6 figures. And unless you just want to have stuff just to say you have it, this is the best way to get everything without having everything. but I wanted to kind of give a little time to actually hear the truck. So as soon as these cars finish turning in front of me, I'm going to give it one last pull before I pull it back in the parking lot. Yeah, I love that active exhaust. It really is worth the money, in my opinion. It's not too much, it's just enough for this 6.2 V8. It kind of reminds me of the older Yukon Denalis, like the 2008 body style. And I love that exhaust note. But with all that being said, this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2026 GMC Sierra 1500 Denali Reserve.